In the previous video, we have seen what is a concurrent hash map is. So this is completed. In this video, we will see some interview questions about collections framework. So the first question is, what is collections framework? So what is collections framework? A collections framework is a set of classes and interfaces to build a functionality. If you remember this diagram, so here we have all the interfaces. So list, set and queue, which extend to collection interface, which further extends to iterable interface. So these are all the interfaces, and some of the classes that are developed by using these interfaces are from list interface, array list, linked list and vector. And from set interface we have hash set, linked hash set and tree set. And from queue we have priority queue, DQ and array DQ. We also have another interface called map interface. Even though it is not extending to collection interface, it is still under collections framework. And some of the classes that were implemented from the map interface are hash map, hash table and tree map. So a collections framework is a set of interfaces and classes. What are the advantages or benefits of this collections framework? So this collections framework has high performance. Using this framework, we can create different types of collections. That means if you want like a string objects collection, we can create string object collection or integer object collection or any different types of collections we can create. And it reduces programming effort also. If we don't have these collections, like normally it takes a lot of programming effort to do some tasks in Java, but because of this collections framework, the programming effort decreases a lot, and also it increases the speed and quality. Collections framework provides high performance implementations of useful data structures and algorithms. So what is collections framework? Collections framework is a set of classes and interfaces to build a functionality. So what are the advantages or benefits of collections framework? It is of high performance. We can create different types of collections we can create, and we can create our own collection also, and we can extend a collection, and it reduces the programming effort and it increases the speed and quality. So what is a collection? A collection is a container which holds a group of objects. We have seen different examples in the previous videos where we have created different collections like array lists or hash set and all those things, and we have used different types of collections like only string type of collections or integer type of collections. So these are objects actually. So we have created different group of objects in a collection. So a collection is a container which holds different group of objects, and a collection provides an easy way to manipulate these objects in a collection or to manage these objects in a collection. And collections manage a group of objects as a single unit. Example, list of strings, integers, etc. So what are the basic operations that we can do using collections? We can add objects collections, remove or delete objects from collections, retrieve an object from a collection, and iterating collection. So these are some of the methods. We have seen different methods in the previous videos. So these are some of the methods that we can use on a collection. So what is collection interface in Java? So if you see this one, this collection interface is the root interface in Java, and it is extended to iterable interface. So this is the main interface in Java, and using this interface there are some other interfaces that were developed which are list, set and queue. So collection is the fundamental and root interface in collections framework. Collection extends iterable interface and inherits iterator method. So if you see this one, this is the iterable interface, and an iterate method is created in this iterable interface. So since collection interface is extending this iterable interface, it inherits this iterate method. So some of the methods of collection interface, if you remember the previous videos where we have created different kinds of collections like array list or hash set or linked list and all those things. So you can remember those methods. One is add method where we can add an element to a collection, and remove method where we can remove an element from a collection, add all Add all method. Add all method is used to add one collection to another collection, and remove all method, we can remove a collection from a different collection. And size method is used to get the number of objects in a collection. Is empty is used to check if a collection is empty or not. And contains method, we can check if an object is there in a collection or not. And we have seen this iterator method as well, where we have created an iterator object to iterate over a collection. And the retain all is used to retain the similar elements between two collections and remove everything else. And the toArray method, you can try this one. I think we haven't seen this toArray method, where we can convert a collection to a array. So these are some of the methods in collection interface. Next one is, what are the basic interfaces of collections framework? So if you see this one, the basic interfaces of collections framework are list, set and queue. So the basic interfaces of collection interface are list, set and queue. Why map interface doesn't extend collection interface? If you see this diagram, map interface is there in the collections framework, but it is not extending to the collections interface. The reason is, map is really not a collection. It stores the data in key and value pairs. So maps are not collections, even though they belong to the collections framework. Maps provide functionality based on key value pairs. Collections are group of elements. The way maps and collections work is different. So map doesn't extend to collection interface. What is iterable? Iterable is an interface which is implemented by collection interface. It provides a method called iterator, which is used to iterate over a collection. So if you remember this picture, so this is the first interface. So iterable is the first interface in a collections framework, which provides a method iterate, which is used to iterate over a collection. What are the different ways to iterate over a list? So we have already seen this one. We can use iterator, where we can create an object for the iterator, and we can use the methods iterator dot has next, and if it has the next element, then we can use dot next method to get the element. So this is one method, and the second one is for each loop or enhanced for loop. So we have also seen this one also. So these are the two ways we can iterate over a list. Next one is list the interfaces which extend the collection interface. So we have already seen this one. The interfaces are list, set and queue. List implementations of list interface. So if you see this one, so the classes that were implemented using the list interface are ArrayList, linked list and vector. So these are some of the lists, some of the classes that were implemented using list interface. So ArrayList, vector and linked list. Explain list interface. Okay, so this is the list interface here. This is list interface extends collections interface, and list is a collection of objects, and it is an ordered collection. That means this is ordered collection. That means if it maintains the order we insert the elements into. For example, the first element I inserted as Support and the second element I inserted as Selenium. Then I can retrieve it in the same order. That means I can use the index 0 for the first element to retrieve the name Support, and I can use the index 1 to retrieve the second element. So this is an ordered collection, and moreover a list, it accepts duplicate elements. That means we can have duplicate elements also in a list. So list interface extends collection interface used to store sequence of elements in a collection. We can even store duplicate elements in list. We can insert or access elements in list by using index. List is an ordered collection. That means it maintains the order that we insert the elements into the list. Some of the operations that we can perform on the list are adding an element at a specified index, removing an element. To get the index of an element, list contains some specific methods apart from collection interface methods. We have seen all these methods in the previous videos. So you can just review that video. You can just go through the video to see what kind of methods we can use on a list. Explain the methods specific to list interface. So some of these methods are add all, which is used to add one list to another list, and using get method we can get a particular element at a particular index, and set method to set a particular element at a particular index, and add, we can add an element to a list. Remove, we can remove an element from the list. Index of, we can get the index of the last occurrence of a specified element. And these are some of the methods we have seen, like all these methods in the previous video. So just go through those videos about array list or linked list, and you can see these methods. Explain about array list. So we have seen an example also in the previous videos for this one. Array list is an ordered collection which extends list interface. So if you see this one, this is the array list, and this is extending the list interface, which extends the list interface, implements collections interface. We use array list mainly when we need faster access and fast iteration. So if we need faster access and faster iteration, then we use array list. For example, if we are doing any modifications or anything to the list, then the best one is the linked list. But if we want faster access and fast iteration of the elements in a list, then we can use array list. If we are doing any modifications to the list, then we can use linked list. So advantages are faster and easier access, used for random access of the elements. Drawbacks is we cannot insert or delete elements from the middle of a list. What is the difference between an array and array list? So array and array list. The main difference between an array and array list is array is a fixed size. That means if we instantiate an array with length 3, that means we can add only 3 elements into the array. But array list, we don't need to mention the size. We don't need to specify the size. We can dynamically add elements into an array list or remove the elements from an array list. So arrays are used to store primitive types or objects of same type or variables that are subclasses of same. Array list is an unordered collection which grows dynamically. That means it is not of fixed length. In list, we can insert nulls values, and list allows duplicate elements. So the main differences are, while creating array, we have to mention the size. That means we have to while instantiating an array, we have to specify the size for the array. But array list, we don't need to specify the size, and the array list grows dynamically. To put an element into an array, we use the following, like string array equal to new string of 5, array 1 of Java. But in array list, we use the method add method. So that is one difference. And arrays are static, array list is dynamic. We can store objects and primitives in arrays, and in array list we can store only primitives prior to 1.5. From 1.5 we can store even objects also. And for inserting and removing elements from an array, we have to manually write a logic. So, but in array list we have a method like add and remove to add or remove any objects from list. Arrays are faster, array list is slower. Array list is implemented using arrays. So explain about sets. So if you see, this is the set, and set is a collection which is extending to collection interface. And again, set is an unordered collection. That means it doesn't maintain the order in which we add the elements to a set. And also set doesn't allow duplicate values. So this is main thing about sets. So a set is a collection which doesn't allow duplicate values. Set internally implements equals method and which doesn't allow duplicates. That means whenever we are trying to add a new element to set, first it checks with the equals method if the element already exists or not. If the element already exists, then the set will simply ignore the duplicate value. Adding a duplicate element to a set will be ignored. Set interface is implemented in java.util.set package. Set interface doesn't have any additional methods, it has only collection methods. That means whatever the collection methods that we have here, so only those methods are implemented in the set. But set itself didn't add any new methods to the collections framework. A set can contain at most one null value. That means it accepts at most one null value. Array list is an ordered collection. In array list, orders maintain same in which they are inserted. But coming to set, it is an unordered collection. So this is the main difference between a list and set. List is an ordered collection and set is an unordered collection. That means list maintains the order in which the elements are inserted, but set doesn't maintain the order in which the elements are inserted. Moreover, list accepts duplicate values, but set doesn't accept duplicate values. So some of the operations that we can do. So these operations we have already seen when we discussed about hash set in the previous videos, so you can view those videos to know about these methods like adding elements, removing elements. So all those methods come under sets. Explain the implementations of set interface. So these are some of the implementations of set interface like hash set, linked hash set, and tree set. So hash set, linked hash set, and tree set. Explain about map interface in Java. So a map interface is it stores the objects in the form of key value pairs. That means we have to provide a key to store a value, and in order to get the value we have to know the key in a map. If we don't know the key, then we cannot get the value. Both keys and values are in a map are objects. And some of the features of map are maps cannot have duplicate keys but can have duplicate value objects. That means when we are adding elements, definitely the keys should be different in a map, but the values can be duplicate. In order to get a value from a map, yes, we need to have the key, otherwise we cannot get the value. Implementations of map interface. So some of the implementations of this map interface are hash map, hash table, and tree map. We have also seen another map which is concurrent hash map. And concurrent hash map is fail safe and hash map is fail fast. So we have seen this concurrent hash map also. So these are some of the implementations of map. Hash map, hash table, tree map, and concurrent hash map. So hash map, hash table, tree map, and concurrent hash map also is there. What is fail fast system in Java? Okay, so fail fast system. A fail fast system is when a problem occurs, a fail fast system fails immediately. So this one we already discussed in the previous videos. Let's say I have a collection and I am running my tests parallelly. Like this is first test, second test, third test, fourth test, and fifth test. So let's say these 5 tests are running in parallel, and let's say the first test is accessing a collection. Let's say this is collection. So the first test is accessing this collection, and at the same time fourth test also try to access the collection and try to modify it. But since here the first test is already modifying the collection, let's say the fourth thread. So this is one thread and this is another thread, and the fourth thread it failed. Okay, if it fails, then this is a fail fast system. But if the fourth thread also can access this collection and modify its elements, or it can manage this collection, then that is a fail safe. And the example is for the fail safe system it is concurrent hash map, and fail fast system it is hash map. So when a problem occurs, a fail fast system fails immediately. In Java, we can find this behavior with iterators. If you call an iterator on a collection object and other threads tries to modify the collection object, then concurrent modification exception will be thrown. This is called fail fast. Some of the examples are ArrayList, vector, and hash map. What is fail safe system? A fail safe system, iterators don't throw any exception if the collection is modified while iterating over it, because they iterate on the clone of the collection and not the actual collection. And the example is concurrent hash map. So in this video we have seen some interview questions on collections framework. If you want to download the document for this one, you can go to my repository at github.com/suppostek and then go to Selenium-Java-tutorials. This particular video starts with numbering 23M, and you can see the document here, collections framework-interview questions. You can download this document. In the next video, we will start with exceptions and we will see what are exceptions and how to work with them.